Nice that they had a lifetime warranty too. We have a lifetime warranty. We've been in business since 1941. As I told you, we're doing about $100 million in business. I didn't tell you that to impress you, but to impress upon you, should you have a claim or a warranty issue, we're going to stand behind it and we're going to take care of that for you. Most companies will say you have a lifetime warranty, and you think that means the same thing. Let me explain for you how the warranties work. If this is our north elevation, never eat soggy Wheaties and never eat shredded wheat. It's easy. So if this, and each side was 250 square feet of siding, all four of your box, simple numbers, 250 square feet of siding. Now, if I'm standing right here, and it's a year later, and this is west, and I'm looking at the corner of this elevation, does the north side get sun? No, it doesn't. Does the west side get sun?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Now, will they have the same color match in a couple of years?
Probably would fade.
It's probably going to fade. Now, a lot of companies don't cover that warranty. Now, for us, we want to make sure that the fade isn't that noticeable. If you have a big bush here or a tree here, this is going to be protected, right? So now, if you have a tree here and you cut it down, and your siding is darker here and lighter here, let me tell you, no matter what company it is, including us, that's not a warranty issue. But let's talk just warranty issues in themselves. I want to explain that so you have a better understanding of that. Warranties say the elevation will fade evenly. The elevation will fade even, not the whole entire house. Because you got the north and one end and the south and west and everything, so it's different exposures, right? So it's going to fade evenly. Now, when I priced out your project, you have 10 squares of siding, 250 square feet on each side equals 10 squares of siding. It's 1,000 square feet, 100 square per foot. So now 100 per square foot. So we have 10 squares. Now just for simple numbers, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, if we have 10 times, and let's say it costs $600 per square to side your home. It's $6,000 to side the home. Just using these rough numbers. Is that correct? 10 times 600 is 6,000, right? Now, you have 1/3 of that is material, right? 1/3 is labor. The other 1/3 is what's called a gross margin. Now, gross margin doesn't all go to the bottom line. It pays for light, electric, gas, sales commission, labor, everything, right? Or not labor, material. But it goes towards the labor for the office pool to do the processing of the orders and everything. So if we just had this, it'd be $2,000, $2,000. That's how we get to our $6,000. And we're simplifying this with the numbers for this purpose only. The siding manufacturer gets a call. The siding company went out there and said, hey, we got a problem with the siding. So Joe's siding company calls the siding company and says, hey, Veriform or whatever, all side siding company, we've got some fading going on here. And the homeowner says, well, I think the whole house needs to be replaced. The siding guy is going to say, no, it's only per elevation. So now, Mrs. Johnson, this is 1/4 of your elevation. So we only cover the material. So we're going to give you 1/4 of the $2,000. So under that warranty, you get $500 on your lifetime warranty. Let's assume for a moment you caught him in a good mood. It's a Friday, and he says to you, Dave, I have a lot of empathy for you. Just had to pay for my house for siding. It's expensive. I don't want you to have to do this over again. I'll tell you what we're going to do, Dave. I'm going to give you all new siding for your home. I'm going to mark it out that all the siding was faded everywhere. Fair enough?
Thank you.
You'd be happy, right?
Sure.
So now here comes the problem, Dave. They give you $2,000 back. Or they give you all the siding. Can I ask you, what will you do with the $2,000 for all the siding?
I'm not a gambling man, but I'm going to need $4,000 more.
To put it back up, right?
Get the job done. Well, at least another $2,000. Yep.
Now, let's assume this for a moment. The small guy who works out of his home, does nice work, says to you, Mrs. Johnson, I don't cover the warranty. So I have to charge you $2,000. And then of course I'm not gonna be on any other job that week. So Mrs. Johnson, here's the way it broke down. Here's what I wanna do. So now it's $4,000 to redo the job. Let's assume for a moment he's in a good mood. And he breaks it down and he covers the labor too. But he can't go without making money, right? Otherwise he won't be in business. So no matter what happens on that lifetime warranty in the marketplace, it's going to come out of your pocket, right? Now, as I told you, we offer you a lifetime warranty on the material. We also offer you a lifetime warranty in the installation. If any of this should happen in the same situation, this is what you would pay. Nothing. Everything's covered. As I told you, we're a $100 million company. We don't need that $2,000. We don't need the labor because that's all warranted in there as well. So there's a true difference when I tell you we give you a lifetime warranty versus Little Billy's construction company down the street who operates out of his home. Incidentally, here's a form Lisa Madigan says, consumer rights. Don't deal with door-to-door contractors, don't deal with people who work out of a P.O. box, don't have a legitimate business. Now roofing, siding, and windows is an easy business to get into. Siding and roofing is even easier to get out of. Think of it, Mr. and Mrs. Homer. Have you ever driven past a roofing or a siding showroom? No. You go see windows, right? But you just don't see siding showroom. That's because it's easy to get in and even easier to get out. Lisa Madigan sends you a warning and says, please do not deal with, here's the list of all the things they want you to deal with, and working out of a P.O. box is one of those things, because Mrs. Madigan is not going to knock on a contractor's house and say, is your mommy or daddy home? I got a problem. They want you to deal with a legitimate business for a legitimate complaint. Now, Mrs. Johnson, now incidentally, my siding price was at, say, $12,000, and you said my competitors was at $9,000, right? Now, under this scenario, Mrs. Homeowner, we could change those numbers, but this still exists, right? Would you rather spend a few dollars more or a few dollars less than you should? Now, I've asked that question, and I've always gotten the answer, I'd rather spend more to get it right than spend less than what I should to get it done. Now, it's a, do you want to pay for it now, or do you want to pay for it in the long run? Right. And we just talked about it, Dave, you said you're not a gambling man.
Right.
So unless I'm wrong, does this rule out that other company?
That's a great tie-down. Yeah, it does.
Okay, so now Dave, I respect that you have a budget. Now let me see what I can do to help you move forward. Now, if he didn't give me any objection to that, and I got just that answer, I'd leave my price where it's at, right? And I go for the close. But if he said, yeah, but, and I said, Dave, earlier I'd asked you the question, if I could, and I'm not sure that I can, but if I can make this 100% comfortable for your budget, would you consider moving forward today? Now let me tell you the thing I've learned in remodeling, guys, and I'm incorporating into my siding demonstration. They say, well, I don't have $12,000 to do the siding. I'll tell you what, here's the way we'll do it. We'll take a deposit today, and we'll do stage funding. We'll take, of this $12,000, we'll take $6,000 today. When the material is delivered, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get that job done. We'll take 25% of the remaining balance, and then when the job is done, you get paid the other 25%. So in total, probably take a few weeks for that job to get done, and then you'll have another couple weeks to save that money. Does that work for you? And a lot of people in the remodeling say, yeah, that works. It's perfect. Now, let's call it stage funding. Now, you can offer stage funding, or you can talk financing with the homeowner. Now, you got to ask financing right up front, right? Now, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, how did you plan on making the investment? Were you planning on using cash, or were you planning on taking advantage of our no-interest program that we have? Instead of saying financing, because they all say no, right? But when I ask it this way, now Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, would you rather pay cash, or would you like to take advantage of our no-interest promos that we've got going on right now? Oh wow, no interest? Yeah, no interest at all. Now let me tell you, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, when we involve the bank with no interest, I cannot negotiate the bank's money. The bank says this is the price, and this is the widget, this is what you get for it, right? I can't discount the bank's money. Now, if you pay cash, I can discount or give you what we call a preferred customer cash discount. So when you do financing, although it's interest-free, it does cost a couple bucks more. But let me tell you, a couple bucks more is well worth the inconvenience of not having to go through your own misery of getting financing. Now, you couldn't walk into a place and just do that. Now, first of all, this is an unsecured loan. That's a personal loan. You'd have to go to a bank and ask for a personal loan. A personal loan is not going to be 7 or 8% interest, right? And it's certainly not going to be 0% interest for 5 years. So Dave, let me show you the application. Here it is. You just need to fill out this section here. And probably 90% of the stuff I'm selling right now is finance. Okay. So I give them my warranty explanation. Now what did I also do in there? I've done some tie-downs, I've done some trial close questions, and I've done some pre-close questions, and I've done a lot of price conditioning, right? Now throughout my entire presentation, I do price conditioning as well. And now before I get down into the price, now I just want to confirm, Dave, to wrap things up before we get into the price. I've priced your project out using the insulated slab siding. Now the last thing I can show you is the soffit and fascia work all the way around your home where we walked around and I showed you, pointed that stuff out. That is all the white trim that you have and the gutters and everything. I'm going to do what's called an IntelliVent vinyl soffit system. So the vents are actually hidden in between here. So you don't see that cheese grater effect that we have in the house where it's all dirty. And I point that out for my customer. Wow, look, it looks like there's all dirt coming right out of that one vent. Yep. So we want to hide your vents so you don't see that. So I'm going to put vinyl soffit everywhere, and then I'm going to cover everything else in the aluminum all the way around. And I'll show you the trim and everything. So now I've gone through all that. Now I'm going to put all this stuff away for the meantime, because I don't want them getting overwhelmed looking at everything, right? All the decisions are made at this point in time. We just need to price the project out. So Mrs. Johnson, it'll just take me a few minutes, and while I'm looking, or while I'm working at this project, let me give you the siding brochures and some company literature so you can look through it while I'm pricing out the project. Okay? So now, I've priced out the entire project. This is perfect. Here's my exact one I used for her. So now, Mrs. Johnson, as we talked about, the 60-month promo, the MSRP, the manufacturer suggested retail price, comes in at $24,080. Now I'm giving you a discount of 10%. Remember we talked earlier about that initial visit discount? So I can give you some incentive to move forward. And on top of this, it's the 1st of July, I think I went on this one. I said, we had a fabulous June sale. That's actually not to be held over, but I have another measurement today that I'm going to price, so I'm going to batch your order potentially with another order, so I can capitalize on giving you that other sale from last month. That's why I would be saying all week long, gentlemen, I'm batching your order with a June sale, and it's a better incentive than that. I don't point out that the postcard's going to end on the 18th. Don't worry, we'll do another one exactly like that. And I will say this in case they acknowledge, well, you've been running the same promo for the last year. Absolutely. The discount has been the same, but what isn't advertised is that the price fluctuates. This is an oil-based commodity. The prices go up and down every month. So now, of the 20 years I've been in business, I've never seen it go down. Now it could go up and down, right? Theoretically, but when was the last time you went to the gas station? It was down significantly. It just doesn't happen, right?
I got a question. How are you handling, which I see that they're still promoting it,
The 40 off.
the
Yep.
40
I
off.
had somebody look
Yep.
at me like I was a.
So let me-
I had pointed out and they could not even see.
Yep.
Let me walk you
off
through
the
it.
labor.
Let me walk you through it. So now, Mrs. Johnson, I've given you a discount, and on our promo, it says the 40% off. Not only did I use the 40% off promo, I actually did one better for you. I used last month's sale, which was $200 off a square, or the 40%. It actually works out to be a little bit better than the 40% off on the labor.
I don't understand.
So I've given you a discount here that is better.
That's 10%.
That's greater than 40% off. It's 40% off the labor only. This is 10% off the entire project. If I were to break out the labor of this, it would be less than the 10% off the entire project.
Are we breaking that out for people to
No,
say
never.
that labor is, so we just go with the $200 off as a greater sale?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and that's
So
it's
what
usually
are you
an upside.
saying? Well, how much is the labor, 40%?